Hey everybody, Jonathan Noble, divorce and family law attorney, and this is part 3 on a series of videos that I'm doing for those highly empathetic people who get tangled up with narcissists. I jotted down a couple other personality traits that I want you to think about. If you're dating someone or considering marrying them, I know I have a lot of young guys in my demographic, in my audience, in my analytics, so this might be for you. Or it might be an older guy who was married for many years and now they're back out there and they're dating and they're thinking about getting into another relationships. I want you to think about whether or not you avoid conflict because complying with somebody's demands, if it's not in your heart, is a form of lying. You're lying to yourself. Now, you got to balance. If you're in a relationship or considering one, you need to balance whether the other person is shit testing you or whether or not you're just going along to get along. If you're afraid of losing this person because they threaten to leave you or they imply that you're going to break up with them, show them where the door is, all right? And don't look back. That's no way to live. And there's a ton of people out there with that kind of mindset or disposition where they'll keep doing things to appease the narcissist. And then once you're married and state law comes in and governs what happens when you can't take it anymore, you'll be sorry. And I don't want that. I want to keep you out of here, right? That's the goal. If you find yourself if you're passive and overly giving, and you may communicate a reluctant yes too often, but your heart says no while you're saying yes, bad vibe. Bad vibe. Take a time out, step back, and make sure that you're not entering somebody else's frame. You could see how cults recruit overly empathetic people who are afraid to have boundaries. What's the point? Have boundaries and stick to them. No means no. And if the person doesn't like that, too fucking bad. That's it. No means no. All right? I've seen too many divorce cases where hardworking guy, could be a woman too, even a same-sex marriage, will just be hyper-focused on being a great provider, and the other person has no concept of what their spouse is toiling over on a day-to-day basis, and they can never be satiated in terms of, I want a bigger house, I want a fancier car, the neighbors just went to, on an exotic vacation, I want that too, and I want our kids to be, going to this school or that school or whatever, and this guy's working himself into the ground, and there's no support from the other side of any kind. The law doesn't care. If you find yourself in that role, especially before you get married, I'd ask you to think very closely whether or not this is going to be in your best interest long term, because you're not going to be able to sustain it and you might start to resent it. And then you'll end up in my office, and I don't want you to come here for that. I don't want you to get divorced, all right? You can still have great relationships without bringing in state law and divorce lawyers. Yeah. Go spend the money on that exotic car that you've always wanted rather than paying a divorce lawyer, okay? If you're super empathetic and you could be easily swayed, you got to do something about it, all right? The world's not going to end if you break up with someone who's abusing you. As a matter of fact, a whole new world will open up. So level up, be the best version of yourself. I know I got a lot of young guys on my subscriber list. Share this too. If you got a friend that's just being jerked around, be careful out there.